Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know I had said Wednesdays are going to be cut comms mostly, but today we're just doing a little bit of a commentary. I'm going to just sit down and talk to you guys about a topic, because that's actually originally what I had planned for Wednesdays to be, and that's actually why I bought this microphone and stuff, was so that I could have like sit down commentary videos. But then I was like, ooh, I want to do a cut com, so those kind of came to be. But Wednesdays, they're just gonna really be whatever I feel like making that week, whether that is a commentary like this or it is a cut com like what I did last week. So today, if you did not read the title, I'm gonna talk about DC, because yesterday I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I don't know, it kind of got me thinking, because that was DC's attempt at catching up with Marvel and trying to compete with them in the comic book movie superhero space. And well, the original Justice League in 2017, that was their big attempt at that. And one of the biggest issues I've always seen with the DC and what they haven't done that Marvel did is they really haven't built their universe or their characters or anything. And even like that flaw was shown yesterday and was fixed somewhat when I had watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, because one of the big issues I had with the original Justice League is I had no reason to care about like any of the characters, because prior to that movie, Superman had a movie, and did Wonder Woman come out at that time? Wonder Woman, I think. Okay, so at the time that the original Justice League came out, 2017, Superman was out, Batman vs. Superman was out, and Wonder Woman might have been out. I think it was. I don't quite remember, though. So we really only had 2 origin stories, maybe one depending when Wonder Woman came out. I'm going to just guess it came out before, so I'm just going to go with... We had 2 origin story movies. Then we had Batman vs. Superman, which kind of set up the plot with Superman dying, blah, blah, blah. I barely remember that movie. But one of my issues was, that was the issue. They hadn't done anything to build up these characters in this universe they wanted to have and have us care about them. Like, especially when it came to Aquaman, Cyborg, and Flash. In the original Justice League, you had no reason to care about these characters. And in Zack Snyder's Justice League, it did a better job at, especially with Cyborg, making you actually have somewhat of a reason to care about him and what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. Because in Marvel, if you really think about the MCU started in 2008. That was when I believe it started with the Incredible Hulk, then we had Iron Man, then so on after that from 2008 forward. It took the MCU 4 years before they came out with their big group movie. It took them 4 years to begin building their universe, begin building their characters, giving you reason to care about those characters. Because, I mean, we had an Iron Man movie, we had a Captain America movie, I believe we had the Thor movie, all before the first one, and we had a Hulk movie. So that's 4 origin stories, and then the only ones we were technically missing was a Hawkeye movie and a Black Widow movie. That was really it once we got to see the first Avengers. And I still remember seeing that movie in 2012 when it came out. And I mean, you cared about those characters even to this day. Part of the reason the MCU is so successful is they've done an amazing job at they've made the movies entertaining for everybody. Because actually the way I got into like all these superhero movies and all that was the MCU. And I wasn't like a big comic book person before that. I'm still not really a huge comic book person. I like them, but I don't got a ton. But they did a great job at, the fact of the matter was, anybody could enjoy a Marvel movie for the most part. Because they had a good balance with humor, action, and all that. So you didn't have to be a superhero fan to be able to enjoy a Marvel movie. Like, if you're gonna go see some of these DC movies that came out, if you're not a superhero fan, you're not gonna enjoy them the way you can enjoy Marvel movies. And again, they did a great job at building these characters that you actually care about. Like, when all the characters were dying in like Infinity War and stuff, people actually cared. Like when Iron Man died, I don't think I've ever gone like emotional over a movie, but that actually kind of got to me because that's a character that I've been watching in these movies since I was 5. So I had reasons to care about him because they took the time and they built the character. And same with people like Captain America, Black Widow, everyone that died, is you had reason to care that about what was going to happen to them, and you cared what happened to them. But the issue with DC is I feel like they're trying to play catch up too much and not take the time to build their universe. Because another issue I have with DC is nothing comes together as like a cohesive thing. Is really, I honestly don't even fully know what is a part of what universe. Because if we go over the DC movies you had back in the day, it really, for me at least with DC, is it started with the Dark Knight trilogy, which was amazing. Those Batman movies were great. So you had those. Then eventually we got things like, we got 2013 was when Man of Steel came out, and that I guess started the DCEU, or what they wanted to try and build. And I still actually haven't seen that movie. I should go and watch some of these movies. I do want to. I'm going to try to. Like, after I finish recording this, I'm going to go watch the director's cut of Batman vs. Superman, because I heard that was much better than the original. But, so 2013 we get Man of Steel. Then, I don't think we got anything until we got Batman vs. Superman, which, really, Batman's the only superhero that you could have just kind of thrown in there and had people care about, because most casual superhero fans, you know, they know who Batman is. They've seen stuff like the Dark Knight trilogy. But when in Justice League you try and throw characters like Cyborg in, like the Flash and like Aquaman, these characters that, yeah, some people care about, but not everybody does. Not a casual person who's never seen anything with those characters. Like, for me, the only thing I knew Cyborg from was Teen Titans when I watched it when I was a kid. Like, that was it. I had no reason to care about the Cyborg in that universe. And at least in the Snyder Cut, they did more to build it up with what happened with his family and how he became Cyborg. And they did a much better job character building him. And they did that just in general in that movie. But it just, I can't help but feel like sometimes they're just kind of trying to take a quick way out. And they're just trying to get in, care about these characters. And they're trying to make it all family friendly and stuff, when that's another thing that I feel like DC just isn't, is DC isn't always going to be family friendly. Like, a lot of DC's characters have very dark pasts, or very dark characters. Batman should not be going around cracking jokes. That's not really exactly Batman. That's a dark character compared to, like, the MCU, for example. Like, you have Iron Man, he's meant to be like a charismatic character. That, you know, a lot of them they're meant to be more lighthearted than some of these DC characters with some of their stories. DC in general is just, it tends to be a lot darker and a lot grittier than Marvel is. And they need to not try, I think they need to embrace it, because, and I mean, they can make these darker, grittier movies and not make them like have to be R-rated. They can still be PG-13, so they're open to a more wide variety. Because the Dark Knight trilogy, for example, I think that was greatly done the way they did Batman in those 3 movies. And in the second movie, the Joker was done amazing. That's probably my favorite Joker performance, and then next would be the Joaquin Phoenix one. But that was still, I felt, pretty dark and gritty. But they managed to keep it PG-13 and stuff, you know, it wasn't too bad. But it felt like it still stuck to the character and the source material that it had. Which I think DC really needs to embrace that and just embrace what it is. Because, like, watching the Snyder Cut, I was expecting it was going to take me, like 2-3 watch sessions. I sat down for the whole 4 hours and watched that thing. Because I was genuinely entertained watching it, and I was enjoying it, and I liked what they did with the movie and how they improved it over the original Justice League. But they need to, I'd say they either need to stick with the Snyderverse, keep going with what he has planned, because I know he just, even in the Snyder Cut version of the movie, there are all kinds of things hinting to future movies and what future plots will be and what a Justice League 2 would be and all that stuff. And even I know we have the Batman solo movie with, I forgot his name, but it's a new Batman. But that's another thing, is I saw something saying that he might be replacing Ben Affleck as Batman in like this Justice League universe. And that just brings up another issue that I have, is they can't be just swapping actors out for characters, because that also comes back to how you make some people care more about a movie. Is you gotta care about the characters, and you can't care about a character that they're swapping the actors for. That doesn't work, frankly. Like, the MCU has had, since it started, the same actors have played the same characters pretty much till they were dead. Like Robert Downey Jr., he's been Iron Man from 2008 until he died in Infinity War. That was what, 2019? About 11 years he was Iron Man. And so that's even more reason to care about those characters and want to keep following these movies and keep going. That DC, I think the best thing for DC would be to either try and keep going with the Snyderverse, and if they're going to swap out actors, just do it now. Don't wait or anything. And they need to start cutting origin story movies, or if they're just going to throw characters in, we need to have a reason to care about them. We need to know where they come from. Not just, oh, we're trying to put together a ton of heroes, let's go grab them and tell them we got to destroy this guy because he wants some boxes. Like, we need more reason to care about them than that. So I think even the best thing possibly could be is just keep going with the Snyderverse, because I mean, it, based off the Snyder Cut alone, it looks like it could come out pretty well. But, or just completely revamp everything, because even like when you take it like the Joker movie, that has no relevance to any of the other DC films. Then you got like the Suicide Squad movie from 2016, the new Suicide Squad that's coming out in a few months. You got the Birds of Prey. Those movies, I believe they are supposed to tie into this Justice League universe, but I don't actually know. Like, that's the issue. DC movies, to me, they just feel very all over the place. And if you're trying to get people to invest themselves into these series, it can't feel like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, it has to feel like you can keep up with it. Because, well, yes, the Marvel movies are very complicated and can get very complicated if you really start getting into them. You can also, though, just on a base level, look at these movies, watch these movies, understand these movies, and get what's going on in this universe. Which I think DC could do. I think DC could actually create a very entertaining cinematic universe if they'll just take the time to build this universe and flesh out the characters and give reason to care about these characters. Because DC has proven they can make competent movies. Like, I haven't seen Man of Steel, but the first Wonder Woman, I thought that was good. I haven't seen the new one yet. I want to see that, though. Aquaman, that movie wasn't terrible. Birds of Prey, I've been told, wasn't that bad. Joker was a good movie, even though that doesn't tie into anything. But DC has shown that they're capable of making good movies. And then even Suicide Squad from 2016. That's not, in my opinion, a bad movie. Like, really, the only issue I had with it was the Joker part, which I only really had issues with the Joker part because, to me, it just felt like they're trying to throw too much into one movie. He just felt like a side character. Like, those parts just kind of felt like they were there to me, and they didn't feel like they were cohesive with the movie. And I know they cut out a ton of Joker parts, but it just felt like a lot of them didn't flow well with the movie or do anything, because he was never actually in the movie. He wasn't the villain of the movie. So, to me, he almost felt pointless. Plus, Jared Leto wasn't amazing. And then even they had the little Joker snippet at the end of Snyder Cut. I mean, I don't think he was really in it long enough to really judge his acting. It was fine. It worked for what it had to be. But I've been rambling for a fat minute here. I think I'm gonna cut this off here though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment your thoughts down below. Let me know if you like this style of video and want to see more. I didn't realize how long I was talking. I'm trying to get this cut down some. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. If you made it this far, drop a like. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. Share the channel with people. We're really trying to grow right now. I'm trying to get on that grind to 50 subscribers. We are 8 subscribers away. So if you guys could help me get there, that'd be much appreciated. But I believe that's going to be all for today's video. Again, I do hope you enjoyed. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. I am out of here. Peace.